Hey guys, how's it going? This is Johnny at DIY Health, and today we're going to talk about indoor gardening. What is indoor gardening? It's basically bringing the outdoor gardening experience but into your home. And there's multiple ways that you can do it, but today we're going to talk about basically potted house plants and vegetable plants within containers of pots in your home. Are you ready? Let's go to Bill's house. All right guys, so this is Luna. We're over here at Bill's house. Bill is one of our good friends. He loves to do indoor house plants and indoor gardening. As you can see, he actually has a lot of plants here in the front and many in the back. But since it's the fall season, things are dying down just a little bit out here, but on the inside, they're growing very vibrant. Let's go. Yeah, vibrant.
What did you say? Very what?
I meant to say vibrant, but I said vibrant. All right, see you, Luna. Alright guys, so the very purpose of this episode is just to give you a general idea of the things that you want to keep in mind if you want to do indoor gardening. A lot of the things that I will mention will have to be altered or changed due to the specific plants or vegetables that you're trying to grow, but I want to just give you an overview list of what you want to consider. The very first thing is grow lights. As you can see here, we have grow lights for the plants. Sometimes the plants on the inside, even with the specific window, whether it's east, north, south, or west, some specific plants may not get enough sunlight from those sources. So you may want to supplement natural light with artificial light. And some vegetable plants, for example, if you don't have adequate light, they may grow tall and leggy or not even grow at all. And some of them just won't be as healthy and can become stressed. You may want to consider this when meeting the adequate needs of your plants. Okay, the second thing that I want you to think about is not absolutely necessary, but it will just help you in your everyday busy life as DIY gardeners, is considering getting a timer. Timers are really important for you if you have a very busy schedule and you may have the possibility of forgetting to turn on your lights or turn off your lights at normal times. And so this will help you to be just a little bit more organized in getting your plants the right amount of light and the right amount of rest each day. And the third thing that I would like to talk about is having some kind of airflow for your plants. This will help prevent leaf fungi and even other pests as well. In many ways that you can increase airflow is having a fan. You can do a ceiling fan. You can even crack open a window. You can be creative to see how you can increase the airflow, but general airflow will typically help your plants depending on their specific variety and their needs. And another thing is I'm going to show you is in the other room. Let's go. Hey guys, just a quick tip about sunlight and lighting in general. I just want to show you here, you can see that this plant is actually bent a little bit. It is because it was next to a window growing towards the light for so long. So to prevent this, you just want to turn your plant over or turn it around about once a week so you can get a balanced grow. And something else to consider, if you only have one or two windows that you can use in your space for indoor house planting or gardening, you may want to consider, if you're getting too much sun, just to put down the blinds, or you can use a curtain or a cloth to help prevent the overexposure of sun and help put some shade there to help them as well. All right, another thing that is important for you to consider with indoor gardening and having house plants is humidity. Most houses are about 30% humidity already, but most indoor plants and garden vegetables will thrive about 40% humidity and up. So one way that you can achieve this is through getting a humidifier. As you can see, it's misting out the water there for the plants, or you can do plant grouping. You can group the plants together to help them increase in humidity, or you could get a small tray with a shallow tray rather, and fill it with pebbles and water and put it next to the plants, or you could put the plants on top so that way as the water evaporates it can stick to the leaves. If we were to put the plant itself in the tray of water, it would just soak up the water, and we don't really want that. We want it to sit on top of the pebbles so that there's enough air circulation to produce evaporation and thus humidify the plant. If your plants can tolerate it, you can do misting a few times a week. So these are just some things for you to consider with the most optimal climate for your plants to prevent pests. And another thing is to keep in mind is temperature. It depends really on the types of plants that you have, but most of them thrive about 70 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit or 21 to 26 degrees Celsius. So you just want to keep that in mind, especially with the kind of lights that you may have and the heat they may produce, or the keeping them very close to a window in the winter. It's just really something that you want to keep out an eye for. Okay guys, just another quick tip. There's many different kinds of timers out there. You can go as basic as you want or as advanced as you want. This one has 18 settings, and it allows you to change what specific days and how many hours and what time it should start, what time it should cut off. This is really neat, and especially if you have some vegetables or indoor house plants that require different amounts of sunlight. Generally, you want to shoot for about 10 hours of sunlight and up, and have about 6 hours of nighttime for your plants as well. So the timer will help you achieve that without you putting much effort. Either that, or you're just gonna have to schedule yourself to be able to do that. Another thing that is very important when it comes down to growing indoors is how much and how often you water your plants. We often make the mistake of over-watering, and sometimes our plants can become flimsy or they look unhealthy, and it's really, we sometimes think, oh well, they need more water because of this, but it's actually a sign of over-watering. So I just want to tell you, just be careful about how much you water, how often you water. If you are unsure, well, should I water my plant today or not? Here's some simple gadgets that you can use. This is just a simple bamboo stick, or you can use a popsicle stick. You just put it in the ground or in your soil container, and then you pull it out, and you will see if it's dry. If no soil sticks to it, then you should probably water. If the soil sticks to the stick, then it's a good indicator that you are already good and that you don't need to water anymore. If you want to get a little bit more fancy, you could use a water meter. This will tell you whether your soil is dry, moist, or wet. And so this is another tool that you can use. Another one that you can use is, this is called a clay worm. You basically put it in the soil, and as you can see, this is a little bit more on darker orange, and then it gets light here. Is because when it was in the soil being wet changed the color of the worm. And if you don't have any of this, and if you don't have the energy or the time to use any of that, you can always just put your finger in the soil and see if it's wet or damp up to the first pad or the second pad. And if it still is wet and moist, it's a good indicator that it can wait just a little bit before you water again. And depending on the season and the temperature of your house and the outdoors can also determine, as well as the type of plant, how you water it and how much you water it. If you are worried about getting too much sun for your vegetable plants, we just want to share a quick fact for you, is that windows typically block UV rays. So even if you get a longer extended amount of sunlight for your vegetable plant, it typically won't hurt it. But if you don't believe me or Bill, you can always invest in some very special plant sunscreen. No, I'm just kidding. Alright guys, the last thing I want to talk about is just soil. Just a quick fact is that typically for gardening indoors, you just want to use organic potting soil mix, and you can get as creative as you want, but this is basically a staple in indoor gardening. Alright, now let's go back to the shed. Bye, Bill. He doesn't want to be on camera. Alright guys, so we're back to the shed from Bill's house. I would just want to show you something that was really nice there that you may have saw. It is a thermos.
May have seen.
Come on, I'm Southern, man. Okay, all
They
right.
talk like that in Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's normal.
Dude.
All right, guys. We're back at the shed. I just want to show you something that you may have seen here at Bill's house. It's a thermometer and a humidity reader. They're really nice. You can buy one on the internet, on Amazon. This will help you know and keep track of what the humidity level is in your home and the temperature. And now it's time for our very special health nugget. So, there is many health benefits to actually having plants and vegetable plants in your home. They help reduce stress, anxiety, depression, and they can help overall improve your oxygen and air levels in your home. So it not only is beneficial for you to have a purpose, but it actually benefits your health, your air, and your today and tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to plow through that like button, smash that like button, and we'll see you next time at DIY Health. How is it growing?